What's going on, fight fans? I'm here with you for another video. I'm going to be talking about the boxing event that obviously happened tonight. A video that I was contemplating while watching the fight about possibly making a video, but in way in which the manner this fight went and the way that the result came in as well, I feel like I have to make this video. Obviously, as you see on your screen, I'm going to be talking about the fight that took place between Joe Joyce and Dereck Chisora. And while Joe Joyce is coming off two consecutive losses, back-to-back losses to Gile Big Bang Jang, and Dereck Chisora is coming off of his losses that he had against Tyson Fury, taking some time off from the ring. That's the last time I've heard or seen of him in the ring. So I don't know if this was his rebound fight that he had back or he had another one previous to that. Somebody's privy to me to that. They can let me know in the comment section below. But man, the way that this fight turned out to be, it was rock'em, sock'em, robots, swanging and banging, meat on meat, heavyweight style of fight. I mean, honestly, you have to give a lot of credit to these guys' chins because, man, they took a hell of a beating, and it shows definitely in the face of both of these fighters towards the end of that fight. Um, if you were looking for any source of entertainment from boxing, or you felt like boxing has been missing some sort of entertainment fights, I mean, this was definitely a fight that you can definitely look at and just be entertained while having it on, because this was just back and forth action on and on and on between these two guys. Chisora, more known as a guy that's a gatekeeper, really to see who is the top or fit for the cream of the crop of the division, of the heavyweight division, and Joe Joyce, who did have a lot of potential, even though at his later stage of age, it did show that he did have a lot of promise and potentially going into a lot of big money fights, especially being from the UK. And while those two losses did show a lot of Joyce's weaknesses in his game, those weaknesses definitely did show up again. I think that's something that you can't train out of him. You know, you can't teach a old dog new tricks. You know, sort of a side of tactic. He does not move his head at all. Cannot be able. Is not really defensively sound at all. You know, when you're watching for heavyweight fights, you're pretty much not looking for skill. You're pretty much not looking for, this, and that. You know, obviously, you're boxing. You would obviously want to have some type of skill, some type of, development and tier of your way. And especially being such a prolific amateur boxer that he was, he definitely has a lot of issues in that. And he takes a lot of shots on the head and on the body and in the chin. I mean, and again, congrats to him. He has a hell of a chin. So does Dereck Chisora. Chisora, obviously, a little bit more defensively sound in this fight, being able to make Joe Joyce miss. Towards the beginning of the fight, it was pretty much just back and forth action. Dereck Chisora was able to fight the way that he wanted to fight, and then towards the mid to late rounds of the fight, Chisora started to play a lot more rope-a-dope, staying on the ropes, letting Joyce put a pressure and put a pace on him. And while Joyce was having a lot of success of him doing that in the fight, they both seemed to be a little bit tired, especially towards the beginning of the fight, which is very, very crazy, because they didn't put that much of a heavy pace, especially towards the first and second round. But they sort of got tired, and then they got their second win toward the end of the fight, and towards the middle of the fight, they were able to recuperate their cardio and their energy that they were able to have. And again, Joyce was pretty much just putting on that pressure to Chisora, backing him up most of the fight, and picking his spots and having a lot of success, scoring a lot of shots, hurting Chisora many, many times, and especially late in the fight, he had Chisora pretty much, his legs were gone from under him, and the ropes were pretty much just holding him up. And Chisora, like a lion, like a warrior that he is just standing there taking shots. And while he is taking shots, he's keeping himself in there, being still wary, even though his head is a little cloudy with all the shots that he's been taking, not in just the fight, but just in his career as well. And he just continued to counter it effectively. And while he was countering effectively and landing shots well, Joyce did take them well until finally, in the ninth round, he got him to sit down on his ass, Dereck Chisora put a really, really nice counter right hand um, on Dereck Chisora, put him down. Excuse me, put Joe Joyce down, and really, man, on the onset, it was just meat on meat, man. Again, you don't really look for a lot of skill or maybe talent out of heavyweight fighters. You're just looking for a lot of power, a lot of knockouts, a lot of impressive showings, and these two guys, man, regardless of what you can say about Joyce and his loss, he could be a lot better than what he is. Obviously defensively more sound, but honestly, I think that's just the type of fighter that he is. Is he's gonna take those shots on the chin, and be able to, push that pace that he usually does. Even though he didn't push the pace that he usually does in his prime, when he was really on his game, he was throwing a lot more shots. I think he was throwing around 70 punches around, and then in this fight he was throwing around just 20. So very much more an active, not even a 12-round fight. It was a 10-round fight, but expecting that out of these men at the later age that they're at again, and puts so much mileage on their careers. You kind of really just want to have a nice fight out of these two guys. And shout out to Dereck Chisora. What a great performance that he put on for himself. And, stakes a claim that even though he is a gatekeeper, he is probably one of the more entertaining and exciting fighters, regardless of whoever they put him in there with. He's just in there and ready to go to war, just like his nickname is. And he's ready to put on a show and, come out with the dub and show his toughness and grit that he has, man. And it's really, really great and to show an appreciation to it. And if you guys are ever you guys have ESPN Plus and is able to rewatch the fight ever again, I mean, I highly, highly recommend rewatching that fight. That fight was very, very entertaining and exciting on both ends. Thank you guys for watching. Like this video if you like this type of content, if you like this boxing content that I'm putting out for you guys. I had to make a separate video. I didn't want to just lump this in into my UFC video that I'm going to be making on later tonight, because I feel like that would be doing a disservice to not only the fighters itself, but the fight and boxing in general. So I had to make this separate one on my own for as of right now. Comment any opinions that you had, especially watching during the fight, about Chisora, about Joyce, about these two warriors just going at it, just swanging and banging, dude. It was amazing. Also, subscribe if you like this type of videos, if you want to be able to see more type of this content, and also you really, really enjoy this boxing intakes that I have every single week and every single fight night for you guys. I'm going to be here pushing out more of this type of content. Thank you guys for watching again, and peace.